Hi, I'm Cordell Geck, and I'm here to inform you about the Amateur Athletic Union and its benefits to young athletes. In 1888, James Sullivan first started the AAU, and it consists of 32 different sports, such as football, baseball, volleyball, basketball, and wrestling, and other sports. And his goal was to create common standards of youth sports. And most national championships in today's world is under the leadership of the AAU. So today I will explain to you the three main points of how the AAU affects the lives of young athletes and the elite coaching, the recruiting, and the sacrifices made uh, for the AAU. So first, let's begin by why they want to play these sports. Playing in the AAU is really competitive, and it allows you not just to play high school sports. You are separated from ages 12 to 18, whatever your case may be, and so if you are 18 years old, you will play against 18 years old clear across the country, and uh, you travel clear across the United States to play in these tournaments in major cities. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the AAU has top coaching, and these coaches have to be under strict background checks. So you can't have any criminal records or anything like that. The reason why they do this is because they just don't want any old coach to be mentoring these kids. So many of these coaches have history of playing college sports, professional sports, and they really have to be engaged with it because this is year round, so they travel along with the kids. So now that we've talked about the benefits of the AAU, now let's consider how it affects the athlete itself. Uh, well, for one, the reason why they want to play in these AAU tournaments is because during your high school season, most sports that you play, the college coaches are also in their season, so they will not come to your games to see you play, most likely. And as a player, uh, most coaches don't want to just spend their time looking at one athlete. And so when you're playing in really competitive leagues, uh, the coaches are coming to look at multiple players and everything like that. And at these events, they have computer-based systems to where a coach can go up and say, "Hey, I want to look at a certain player and look at his stats and look at where he's from and who he can contact to see what kind of person he is, so they can come and be on their team and make sure they have a good character and things like that." Um, and also at these tournaments, there is usually 32 to 64 teams, and it allows that player to get exposure. And the reason why they get exposure is because of top sponsorships such as Nike, Adidas, Jordan, Gatorade. And most of these coaches have some sort of networking with a college level coach because they may have played alongside them or coached alongside them. So recruiting definitely helps this process, and that's why these players want to play in that, so they can go and play Division 1 or Division 2 basketball, and maybe they can get a scholarship out of it. So next, I want to talk about the sacrifices that a family or the athlete is given up when playing AAU sports. And for one, it is very expensive to play. For an example, I know some people around my area that play on traveling baseball leagues, and they say just for one summer, it may cost up to $1,600 just to be on the team. So that does not count traveling, hotels, food, and other expenses like that. Players also don't get that same teenage lifestyle that their friends do. They don't get to hang out with them. They don't get to be around them as much as they may like. But it's all for the greater good of the player. They are looking for a future beyond high school in a sport. And there is no off season, like I said before. It is continuous year round, and many people or articles that I have seen, such as NBA players like Kevin Garnett said in a USA Today article, that it is depleting the fundamentals of the game. Many players, like in basketball, they are only learning how to score and things like that. They are learning the good fundamentals of the game, and they aren't getting that camaraderie with their team, because at these tournaments, many other AAU coaches are going around and asking other players if they'd like to play on their team to either make their team better or whatever the case may be. Maybe that coach knows another college coach or something that will help their future. So they aren't building camaraderie amongst one another like you would see on a high school team. And so to wrap up, those are the three main points of my AAU speech, and that is the pros and cons of the lifestyle. So is the AAU benefiting these athletes in an honorable way? I would say yes, just because of getting that exposure to coaches, because in this day and age, it is hard to get a scholarship from a rural community. So if you live in a rural community like I do, it is very beneficial to play, even though it's taken a lot out of a kid's life. But thank you for watching my speech, and I look forward to watching all your other speeches. Thank you.